All right, guys, we're back for some more painting, and today I have my colors from yesterday, which I'll tell you, it's just a little later in the day here. And I've got black, brown, yellow ochre, and red added to my paint palette. And so we're gonna go ahead and get started back on this angel, and hopefully my neighbors bless me with some quiet. All right, so we're gonna start by mixing a little bit of our black into our white because we want a little bit of a soft gray. I'm gonna get a little more and keep mixing. Okay, that's about good for me. Okay, and then we're going to pull that gray into her wings and around her waistline. So down into her wings, just to add some definition here. And I am taking my paintbrush and using it in a straight line. So I'm not using the flat edge, I'm using the straight line edge, if that makes sense. And you can add as much or as little as you like. I really like the gray, so adding quite a bit of it. And it's gotten even hotter outside, so I'm gonna start picking up the pace just a little bit. But if you need to pause the video as you go along and go a little bit slower, please do. Okay, now I'm going to go back. I'm not going to add any more paint to my paintbrush. You can see the tips are getting a tad bit dry. And I'm going to flat edge it just to pull that paint so it's not into like straight lines. Okay, now I'm going to get some more of either one of my blues. I'm going to go ahead and pick ultramarine. And I think I will add a little bit of black to it. So I'm going to move it up here, grab some black, and darken it up. A little more blue. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to go in here, add a little bit of this to the wings as well, just in random places, and probably not even on every wing. I'm sorry. Yes, it will be on both wings, but it won't be on every part of the wing. I guess comb feathers, I don't really know. Can't wait to go to heaven and see what angels really look like, because it's probably more beautiful than we can even imagine. Okay, then I'm going to get as much paint off my brush as I can, just over here on the side. But again, we're still using a dirty brush. I just want it to be a little bit drier. And I'm going to move that blue around. There we go. Okay, now before it can completely dry, we're gonna go get some white. And I like my edges to be a little rougher than this is, so I'm going to just sort of play with it a little. Change the shape of this wing just a little bit. We don't really want her to be too perfect. because it's a lot more fun this way. So I'm just going in and changing shapes as I feel like I want to, and adding some more white here and there. Okay, I think I like that. A little more white through here, I guess. All right. And I'm going to go on the other side and I'm going to add a little more white over there too. I'm going to change the shape of this side as well. Kind of like more of a arch to the top of the wing. But you don't have to. Yours can be however you choose. Add some more. Here. Okay, a little more over here, and there. I think I'm a little happier with her wings now. So now with my yellow ochre, I'm going to use my dirty brush, and I'm going to pull just a little bit, and I'm going to add it just to a couple spots. I'm using the straight edge again. And then I'm going to pull some into her wings just right here. There. So see, that wasn't very much. It was just a little. Just to add a little bit more interest. You can bring a little more into the wings if you like. Just so to a little more color in it. There we go. Okay, I'm done with that. Now I'm going to grab my crimson and I'm going to do the same thing. Just want a little bit of it, not a lot. I'm going to come through and I'm going to add just a touch here and there. And crimson is a little less forgiving, so I got a little bit too dark of a spot here. I'm going to come back and fix that in just a moment. And I'm going to add some more into our skirt. Okay. Getting a little more paint on my brush. Just doing a couple spots down here. Again, it's just for interest. Okay, now I'm going to get quite a lot of crimson on my brush. And I'm going to come to the bottom of her dress. And I'm going to take my brush and have it sideways. And I'm just going to pull. Make a line and pull down. Make a line and pull down. And do that all the way over. Okay, and then I'm going to go back with this blue-gray that I made. And I'm going to blend this just a little. Okay. There. I like that. I might just add a little more over here. And that's it. Now I'm going to get some more white with my dirty brush. And I'm going to come back on top of the skirt and work through some of those colors. Because while we want to have some of those colors in our skirt, we don't want it to be patchy. Alright, working through some of these colors. And I'm going to whiten up her waist just a tad. Okay, I think I'm content with that. If you're not, that's okay. You can go ahead and pause the video and continue to work through the colors on the skirt or the details on the wings. And remember, not everyone's is going to look the same. Yours is going to be much different than mine, but that's okay. All right, now we're going to come in and we're going to take our brown and we're going to work on her hair and the shape of her head, because we kind of want her to be dainty. We don't want her to have a giant head, so we're gonna reshape her head just a tad. So to get a good point, you can use the top of the angled brush right here and use it like it's a smaller brush. So that's how I'm using it. And I'm shaping her hair. And I can already see some places that I'm not happy with, and that's okay, because I'm going to come back in and I'm going to change that. This is probably the hardest part of the painting, it's the hair. Okay, I think that's about as far down as I want to take her hair. Now you have to remember she needs a neck, so we gotta kind of get this hair coming in around the neck area. I think that looks a little better. I'm gonna add just a little more paint. There we go. Okay, now on top of that brown, we're going to take one of two colors. You can use white or you can use yellow ochre. I'm going to choose yellow ochre, and I'm going to not completely cover her hair, but I'm giving her highlights. So I'm just kind of gently coming in and adding some color. Make it look like highlights. There we go. There. Okay. Now, I think I'm going to add a few more on top. I'm not super happy with the top of her head, but I think I will take care of that in a few minutes. So I have all of this paint on my paintbrush, and I'm just gonna dab it. You're gonna either dab it on your paper towel or on the side of your wax paper to just get some of that paint off. So give me just a moment while I do that. I don't want to completely clean my brush. I just want to get it to where it's not so full of paint. Okay, now you get to pick her skin tone. Right here, I have where I had my brown and my yellow ochre already sort of mixing together and it's drying. So I'm going to add some white, and I'm going to add some brown, and I'm going to add some yellow ochre, and I'm going to mix it until I like the shade that it is and feel comfortable making that her skin tone. So I'm almost there. Add a little more brown. Okay, so again, with the point of your brush, you're going to come in and you're going to carefully paint her skin. And you want to make sure that you come down and you give her a neck. And we're going to come back and paint the top of her dress. So I'm going to pull that collar down. I'm getting just a little bit more paint on my paintbrush. Okay, now I sort of went a little bit on my hair up here, so I'm going to come back with brown and I'm going to fix my hairline. And you can do the same. So if you kind of got some of the skin color on her hair, that's okay. You just come back in and you can tidy up her face a little. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to get my white. You want to get some white on your paintbrush, and you want to come in, and we are going to shade her face as if the light is pointing down this way on it. So we are going to just gently make strokes down. And I am painting very gently right now. And without getting more paint on the end of my paintbrush, I'm going to pull it down her neck just a little. Because we want to highlight her neck too. There we go. Okay, so we've highlighted her face and we gave her hair some highlights, but we're going to go back in with our white. Now my white has quite a lot of brown in it. I want to be careful not to continue mixing, otherwise it's going to change your color too much. And we're going to gently highlight her hair a little more on top. Okay. Pulled a little more through the bottom. Now, I'm not too terribly happy with her hair, so I'm going to go back with the brown again. And I'm going to add some darker pieces, because I feel like it kind of washed out. Okay. Now I've changed the shape of her face too much. I need to come back in through here and get it lightened back up. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and paint the top of her dress. So you need to get some white on your brush. And we're going to take our brush and we're going to make one stroke on that side and one stroke on this side. So we gave her a neckline. And then we're going to pull it down. Blend some of that color in. Okay, and we're going to come out to give her her shoulders. And out on this side for another shoulder. And down. Okay. Then I'm going to go in with the corner of my brush and I'm going to fix the top of this just a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to add some more white to her waist on this side, and more white to her waist on this side. And that pulled in too much brown, so I'm going to go get some more white. There we go. Okay, so I am pretty happy with her at the moment. I do want to do one thing, because I want to bring some brown in. Man, mine's already drying so much. And get the bottom of her hair on her shoulders. My brown is so dry, I'm going to have to add more. Give me just a moment, I had to find my brown. Okay, so now I'm gonna bring in her hair over her dress top just a little. There. Okay. So then after we finish a few more details on her, we're going to come in with our black permanent marker. And the painting will be all dry at this point. We're going to come in with our black permanent marker and we're going to add some depth to her neck and her hairline and her shoulders and the edges of her dress. That's a pretty advanced it would be a pretty advanced technique to try and paint that, and so I figured it would be a little bit easier for people if we used a permanent marker to add that definition. So we're going to leave her the way she is right now, and you have the option of either taking some of your white mixed with your blues. So I have my brush, it was white, and I'm going to dip it into both shades of blue. So you have the option of doing this or stopping at this point for a little while. So you can stop now and wait, and we'll come back with the permanent marker and a little more paint and add definition to the angel, or you can continue. I'm going to just add a little bit more on top of what I already have here for the background. You can see it's pulling in a little brown and other color. And then I'm going to go heavy on the white because my goal is to lighten up the background. And I'm going to pull in white here. I don't want to add too much paint though. I don't want to cover up everything we did before. I'm just going to continue this. Almost done. Pull it in by her. You can even, make it touch the wings a little if you like. Okay, I'm really liking that. I'm going to continue. And if your paint starts to look, purple or one solid color, it's time to get back into your white and add some more, because you don't want it to do that. So I said this step is optional because I could see some people loving their background so much that they don't want to come in and cover some of it up with white, and that's okay. So if you choose not to come in and add this step, that's fine. Okay, I think that is good. I like that a lot. Okay, so then I'm going to come back in with white, and in just a couple spots I'm going to add a little more to make it a little bit brighter, but not over the whole thing. Okay, so I am done with that. Maybe. It's funny. I always say that and then I go back and do more. Okay, alright. No. Okay. This time I'm serious, I'm done. Okay, so we are going to come back in with a little bit more blue. We're gonna use our ultramarine. No, I'm sorry, I misspoke. My purple. Coming in with my purple. And I'm just going to add a little bit of color right here on either side, because I want her body to stand out from her wings. Again, like I said, purple is one of my favorites. There we go. Okay, I'm done with that. All right. Okay, so now we are going to let it completely dry. I would suggest leaving it at least for 24 hours so that all of these thicker parts of paint can dry all the way, because we're going to come in with a little bit of paint and our Sharpie so that we can add our fine details, but we don't have a long way to go before we're done. So I hope you enjoyed this. If yours does not look like this, that's okay. Everybody's is going to look different. And if you want to continue working on it to get it a little bit closer, please do. But other than that, we're done for now. So I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you.